I thought she was patient because she loved me. I thought she stayed because I made her happy. But patience isn't love when you're just waiting for someone to die. She didn't take my heart in one day. She took it slowly, over 3 years, and when she was done, there was nothing left, not even me. I'm watching the sun drop into the ocean from my balcony in Cebu. Orange and pink bleeding across the sky like watercolor. Jenalyn's hand is warm in mine, small, soft. She squeezes my fingers and turns to me with that smile, the one that makes me forget I'm 61 and alone in a country I barely understand. I'm so lucky, she says. Her voice is quiet, almost shy. I never thought I'd meet someone like you. I look at her and I feel something I haven't felt in 3 years, not since Karen died. Hope. I'm the lucky one, I tell her, and I mean it. She laughs and shakes her head. Her hair catches the light, black and shining. You don't know what it's like here for someone like me. Working every day. No one sees you. No one cares. She looks down at our hands. But you see me. I do see her. I see everything. The way she tilts her head when she listens. The way she remembers that I take my coffee black. The way she showed up at that church charity event 6 months ago and offered to help me carry my groceries. I was skeptical at first. I'd heard the stories. The bar girls. The women who vanished after one expensive dinner. But Jenalyn wasn't like that. She asked me questions, real questions. What was your wife like? She'd said that first day. And when I told her about Karen, about the cancer, about watching her fade away in that hospital room in Houston, Jenalyn didn't look away. She didn't change the subject. She just nodded. I lost my father when I was 12, she said. I know that pain. It never really goes away. She understood. That's what pulled me in. Not her looks, not her age, the fact that she understood what it felt like to be lonely. What are you thinking about? Jenalyn asks now. She's studying my face. I smile. Just how different my life is now. How much better. She moves closer, rests her head on my shoulder. Mine too, she whispers. I feel safe with you. I've never felt that before. Something in my chest tightens. In a good way. You are safe, I tell her. I'm not going anywhere. She lifts her head and looks at me. Her eyes are dark and serious. Promise? I promise. She kisses me then, soft and slow. When she pulls away, she's smiling again. I should go soon. My mother is waiting for me. Stay, I say. Just a little longer. She hesitates, then nods. Okay. A little longer. We sit there as the light fades. She tells me about her day, about the old man at the clinic who couldn't remember his daughter's name, about the bus that broke down on the way home. Simple things, normal things. But when she talks, I feel like I'm part of something again, like I'm not just a man killing time until his own clock runs out. Can I ask you something? She says after a while. Anything. Do you ever think about the future? About what comes next? I don't know how to answer that. The future used to mean retirement, traveling with Karen, grandkids, but that future died with her. I try not to think too far ahead. I admit, it's easier that way. She nods slowly. I think about it all the time. I think about what it would be like to have a home, a real one, not just a room I share with my brother. Her voice cracks a little. I think about what it would be like to not worry every day if there's enough money for food. I feel a pang in my chest. Guilt, maybe. I have more money than I know what to do with. Pension, savings, investments. And she's struggling just to eat. You don't have to worry about that anymore, I say. She looks up at me, confused. What do you mean? I mean, I'm here now, and I can help. If you need something, you tell me, okay? Her eyes get wet. Terrence, I can't ask you to do that. You're not asking. I'm offering. She shakes her head. You barely know me. I know enough. I cup her face in my hands. You're a good person, Jenalyn. You help people. You work hard. You deserve to be taken care of. A tear rolls down her cheek. No one's ever said that to me before. Well, I'm saying it now. She kisses me again, harder this time. Desperate, when she pulls away, she's crying. Thank you, she whispers. Thank you so much. I hold her while she cries, and for the first time since Karen died, I feel like maybe I have a purpose again. Maybe I can be the person who saves someone. Maybe that's enough. It starts small. Jenalyn comes over on a Saturday morning with a bag of pan de sal and a thermos of coffee. I thought you might be hungry, she says. She's wearing a simple dress, yellow. It makes her look younger than 27. I let her in and she moves through my condo like she's been here 100 times. She sets the bread on the counter, pours the coffee, sits across from me at the little table by the window. You didn't have to do this, I say. She shrugs. I wanted to. We eat in comfortable silence. She asks if I slept well, if my back is still bothering me, if I remembered to take my blood pressure medication. I didn't. She gets up and brings me the pills with a glass of water. You have to take care of yourself, she says. There's no judgment in her voice, just concern. Yes, ma'am, I say with a grin. She laughs. After breakfast, she starts cleaning. I tell her to stop. You're not my maid, I say. I know, she says, but it makes me happy to help you. I don't know what to say to that. So I just watch her. She moves quickly, efficiently, wiping down counters, folding the blanket I left on the couch, straightening the books on the shelf. When she's done, the place looks better than it has in months. You're really good at this, I say. She smiles. I do it every day, at the clinic. Old habits. She sits back down. Her face gets serious. Can I tell you something? Of course. My mother is sick. My stomach drops. What's wrong? Her kidneys. The doctor says she needs medication, but it's expensive. We can't afford it right now. She looks down at her hands. My brother is working construction, but it's not enough, and I'm just a nursing assistant. I make almost nothing. I reach across the table and take her hand. How much do you need? She shakes her head quickly. No, I'm not asking you for money. I just wanted to tell you because it's been weighing on me. Jenalyn, I'm serious. I didn't come here for that. I know, but I want to help. How much? She hesitates. 5,000 pesos for the first month of medication. That's less than $100. Pocket change. Done, I say. Her eyes go wide. Terrence, no. That's too much. It's nothing. Let me do this, please. She stares at me. Then she starts crying again. I don't deserve you. Yes, you do. I stand up and pull her into a hug. She feels so small in my arms, fragile, like if I let go, she might disappear. Thank you, she whispers into my chest. Thank you so much. I give her the money that afternoon. She tries to refuse it 3 more times before she finally takes it. When she leaves, she kisses me at the door. I'll pay you back, she says. Don't worry about it. I will. I promise. She doesn't, but I don't care. A few days later, she's back, this time with groceries. She cooks adobo and rice. We eat together and she tells me about her family. Her mother's name is Lita, 58, diabetic, barely speaks English. Her brother is 23, dropped out of school to work, sends money home every week. Do they know about me? I ask. She nods. I told my mother. She was worried at first. She thought maybe you were like the other foreigners, the ones who just want a young girlfriend for a few months. And now she's grateful. She says you must be a good man if you helped us without even meeting her. I'd like to meet her sometime, if that's okay. Jenalyn's face lights up. Really? Really? She would love that. We make plans for the following Sunday. I'm nervous. I haven't met a girlfriend's family since I was 25. But Jenalyn holds my hand the whole jeepney ride to her mother's house. It's in a crowded neighborhood. Concrete walls, tin roofs, laundry hanging on lines between the houses. Inside, it's small but clean. Lita is tiny, gray hair pulled back in a bun. She shakes my hand and says something in Cebuano. Jenalyn translates. She says, "Thank you for helping our family. Tell her it's my honor." Lita smiles. We eat lunch together. Lechon, lumpia, rice. Lita doesn't speak much, but she watches me. I can feel her sizing me up, wondering if I'm real or just another man who'll disappear. Jenalyn's brother isn't there. Working a double shift, she says. After lunch, Jenalyn walks me outside. "What did you think?" she asks. "I think your mother is wonderful," she grins. "She likes you too, I can tell." "How?" "She kept giving you the best pieces of lechon. That's how she shows love." I laugh. "Well, tell her I appreciate it." We stand there in the narrow street, kids playing nearby. A rooster crowing somewhere. It's loud and chaotic and nothing like my quiet life in Texas, but it feels real. "I'm glad I came here," I say. "To the Philippines? To you." She kisses me, right there in front of her mother's house. When she pulls away, she's smiling. "I'm glad you came too." That night, back in my condo, she tells me she doesn't want to leave. "Then don't," I say. She looks at me, surprised. "You mean it?" "I mean it. Stay." She does. She stays that night, and the next, and the next. After a week, she brings a bag of clothes. "Is this okay?" she asks. It's more than okay. She moves in slowly. A toothbrush in the bathroom, a few dresses in the closet, her shampoo in the shower. Little by little, the condo stops feeling like mine and starts feeling like ours. One night, she's curled up against me on the couch. We're watching some Filipino drama I don't understand. She's translating the important parts. "Can I tell you something?" she says during a commercial. "Always. You're the only person who's ever seen me as more than just a worker, more than just someone who's useful." Her voice breaks. "You see me as a person." I kiss the top of her head. "Because you are a person. A beautiful, kind, incredible person." She turns in my arms and looks up at me. "I don't know what I did to deserve you." "You don't have to deserve love, Jenalyn. It's not something you earn. It's something you give." She starts crying. I hold her. We don't talk about the future that night, but I think about it. I think about what it would be like to spend the rest of my life with her, to wake up every morning and see her face, to take care of her, to make her happy. It doesn't feel dangerous. It feels right. "I just want to be wherever you are," she whispers before she falls asleep. I close my eyes. "Then that's where you'll be." Her phone is always face down. I notice it on a Tuesday afternoon. We're having lunch and her phone buzzes on the table. She glances at it, flips it over without checking. "You can answer that," I say. "It's nothing," she says. "Just spam." But I see the way her hand lingers on it. Protective. An hour later, it buzzes again. She picks it up this time, stands. "I need to take this," she says. She walks to the bedroom and closes the door. I hear her voice through the wall, fast, Cebuano. The tone is different than how she talks to me. Lighter, almost playful. She's laughing. When she comes back, her face is neutral again. "Everything okay?" I ask. "Fine. Just my cousin." "Which cousin?" "May. She's always calling about something." I nod, let it go, but something sits wrong in my stomach. A few days later, I see her texting someone. She's smiling. That same light, easy smile from the phone call. I walk up behind her. "Who's that?" She jumps. Locks her phone. "Jesus, Terrence. You scared me." "Sorry, I didn't mean to." I sit down next to her. "Who were you texting?" "My cousin. May again?" She nods. "Yeah, she's asking about borrowing money." I feel the unease creep back. "Does she need help?" "No." "I told her I'd ask you, but I don't want to bother you." "It's not a bother." She looks at me. Her eyes are soft again. "Grateful. You're too good to me." "How much does she need?" "It's okay. Really. I'll figure it out." "Jenalyn, 5,000 pesos for her rent." I pull out my wallet. Hand her the cash. "Here." She hesitates, then takes it. Thank you. She kisses my cheek, but something about it feels automatic, rehearsed. The requests start coming more often after that. Her brother needs money for tuition. Her mother needs surgery. Her aunt's house needs repairs. Each time, I give her what she asks for. Sometimes more. My savings account is shrinking faster than I planned. But every time I think about saying no, I see the look on her face, that gratitude, that relief, and I can't do it. Bill pulls me aside after our weekly expat meetup at the coffee shop. Can I talk to you for a second? Sure. We step outside. He lights a cigarette, offers me one. I shake my head. What's up? He looks uncomfortable. Look, man, I don't want to overstep, but I've been here a long time, and I've seen this before. Seen what? The girl, the family emergencies, the money. My jaw tightens. What are you trying to say? I'm saying be careful. These women, they're smart. They know how to play the game. Jenalyn's not like that. They're all like that, brother. That's how they survive. I feel anger rise in my chest. You don't know her. Maybe not. But I know the situation. And I'm telling you, as a friend, watch your wallet. Thanks for the concern. But I'm fine. I walk away before he can say anything else, but his words stick with me. I don't want to believe him. I don't want to think Jenalyn is using me. But small things start adding up. She's been distant lately. Not cold exactly, just less present. When we have sex, it feels mechanical, like she's going through the motions. When I try to talk about the future, she changes the subject. Do you ever think about traveling? I ask one night. Where? I don't know. Bohol, Palawan. We could take a trip. Just the two of us. She shrugs. Maybe someday. Why not soon? I don't know, Terrence. I'm busy. Doing what? She looks at me. Annoyed. Working. Taking care of things. Taking care of you. I didn't mean it like that. Then what did you mean? I just want to spend time with you. Real time. Not just you cooking and cleaning and running errands. She stands up. I need some air. She grabs her phone and walks out to the balcony. I watch her through the glass. She's on the phone again. Talking fast. Gesturing with her free hand. When she comes back inside, I ask who it was. My brother, she says. Is everything okay? Fine. He just needed advice. She goes to the bedroom, closes the door. I sit on the couch and stare at the wall. A few weeks later, I offer to buy her a new phone. Hers is old. The screen is cracked. You need an upgrade, I say. She hesitates. I don't need a new one. Come on. Let me get you something nice. I like my phone. Why? She looks at me. Something flashes in her eyes. Defensiveness. Because it works. That's not a reason. It's my reason. She stands up. I have to go see my mother. Now? Yes, now. Is that okay with you? I don't answer. She leaves. When she comes back 3 hours later, she acts like nothing happened. But I can't shake the feeling that something is wrong. I check my bank account that night. Another 10,000 pesos transferred out. I scroll through the history. 15 here, 20 there. Over the past 2 months, I've given her nearly 50,000 pesos. That's almost $1,000. And that's just what I remember. I don't say anything. I tell myself it's fine. She needs help. Her family needs help. That's what you do when you love someone. But Bill's voice echoes in my head. Be careful. I'm starting to think he might be right. Jenalyn brings up marriage on a Sunday morning. We're having breakfast. Eggs and rice. She's quiet. Picking at her food. What's wrong? I ask. Nothing. You're a bad liar. She smiles a little. I've just been thinking. About what? She sets down her fork. Looks at me. About us. About the future. Okay. If we got married, things would be easier. I blink. Easier how? Legally. If something happened to you, I could take care of things. Your accounts, your condo, everything. My stomach tightens. Why are you thinking about something happening to me? I'm not. I just mean in general. We should be prepared. Prepared for what? She reaches across the table, takes my hand. Terrence, you're 61. I'm 27. I know you don't like to think about it, but there's a reality here. You're older, and if something happens, I need to know I'll be okay, that I can take care of myself. I pull my hand back. Is that what this is about? Money? No, God, no. I love you. I just want to protect what we have. What we have, or what you'll get. Her face hardens. That's not fair, isn't it? We stare at each other. The silence is thick. Finally, she stands up. Forget I said anything. Jenalyn, wait. No, it's fine. I shouldn't have brought it up. She walks out. I sit there feeling like an asshole. Maybe I overreacted. Maybe she's just being practical. She's right. I am older, and if something happened, she'd be left with nothing. That's not fair either. I find her on the balcony an hour later. She's crying. I'm sorry, I say. She doesn't look at me. I'm not trying to take advantage of you. I just don't want to end up with nothing. Like my mother. When my father died, we lost everything. I don't want that to happen to me. I sit down next to her. I understand. Do you? Yes, and you're right. We should get married. She turns to me. Her eyes are red. You mean it? I mean it. Let's do it. She throws her arms around me. Thank you. Thank you so much. We get married 2 weeks later. It's a small ceremony. Just us, her mother, her brother, and a few friends. Bill doesn't come. He stopped returning my calls after our last conversation. The ceremony is quick, civil. No church, no big celebration, just paperwork and signatures. Jenalyn cries when the judge says we're married. Her mother hugs me and says something in Cebuano. Jenalyn translates. She says you're part of the family now. Tell her I'm honored. That night, we go out to dinner. Nothing fancy, just a place near the water. Jenalyn is happy, smiling, holding my hand. I can't believe we're married, she says. Me neither. What do you want to do now, for our honeymoon? I don't know. What do you want to do? She shrugs. I'm happy just being with you, but something feels off. The way she says it, like she's reading from a script. I push the thought away. The next day, I transfer $10,000 to her family. They want to fix their house, add a second floor. It's a lot of money, but they're my family now too. Jenalyn is grateful. Her mother cries. Her brother shakes my hand and calls me Kuya. Big brother. I feel good about it, like I'm doing the right thing. But a few weeks later, I notice Jenalyn on her laptop more often. She's looking at real estate listings, houses, land. What are you doing? I ask. She closes the laptop quickly. Just browsing. For what? Nothing. Just dreaming. Dreaming about what? Having our own place. Something bigger than this condo. We can look if you want. No, it's too expensive. But I see her on the laptop again the next day. And the day after that. One afternoon, I come home early from the grocery store. She's on the phone in the bedroom. The door is cracked. I hear her voice. Yes, the title needs to be in my name. Can you make sure of that? I freeze. I know. But he's old. It's better this way. My heart starts pounding. Just draw up the papers. I'll get him to sign. I push the door open. She spins around, sees me. Her face goes pale. I'll call you back, she says. She hangs up. We stare at each other. Who was that? I ask. A lawyer. Why are you talking to a lawyer? It's nothing, just helping my brother with something. What did you mean about getting me to sign papers? It's not what you think. Then what is it? She stands up, walks toward me. Terrence, calm down. Don't tell me to calm down. What papers? She sighs. Fine. I was looking into buying land. For us. For our future. But the lawyer said it's easier if the title is in my name because I'm a citizen. And you were going to tell me when? I was going to surprise you. By tricking me into signing something? It's not a trick. It's for both of us. I step back. I don't believe you. Her face changes, hardens. What don't you believe? Any of this. The marriage, the family emergencies, all of it. You think I'm scamming you? Are you? She slaps me, hard. My cheek stings. How dare you, she says. Her voice is shaking. After everything I've done for you, after everything I've given up. What have you given up? My life, my freedom. I could have been with someone my own age, someone who doesn't need help getting out of bed in the morning, but I chose you. The words hit like a punch. Then why did you choose me? She doesn't answer. Jenalyn, why did you choose me? She looks away. Because I needed to survive. The room spins. Get out, I say. Terrence, get out. She grabs her purse, walks to the door, stops. You'll regret this, she says. Then she's gone. I sit on the bed. My hands are shaking. I don't know if I just made the biggest mistake of my life, or if I finally woke up. She comes back 3 days later. She's apologetic, says she was stressed, that she didn't mean what she said. I want to believe her. I need to believe her. So I do. But I don't sign any papers, and I sleep a little less soundly at night. I start feeling weak in October, just tired at first. I chalk it up to age, stress, the heat. But then I start losing weight. My clothes hang off me. My belt needs new holes. You should see a doctor, Jenalyn says one morning. I'm fine. You're not fine. You look terrible. I snap at her. Thanks for that. She doesn't push. But a week later, I can barely get out of bed. My stomach hurts. Everything hurts. Jenalyn calls a taxi and takes me to the hospital. The doctor is young, serious. He orders tests, blood work, scans. I spend 3 hours in a cold room while machines buzz around me. The doctor calls me back 2 days later. Mr. Terrence, we need to talk. Jenalyn is with me. She's holding my hand. The doctor looks at both of us. The scans show a mass in your colon. We did a biopsy. It's cancer. The word hangs in the air. Cancer. What stage? I ask. My voice sounds far away. Stage 3. It's aggressive, but treatable. What does that mean? Chemotherapy, surgery, possibly radiation. I nod. I can't feel my face. We'll need to start treatment as soon as possible. I don't remember leaving the hospital. Jenalyn drives us home. I sit in the passenger seat and stare out the window. When we get back to the condo, she makes me tea. I don't drink it. Terrence, she says. I don't answer. Terrence, look at me. I turn. She's sitting next to me on the couch. Her face is pale. You're going to be okay. Am I? Yes. The doctor said it's treatable. He said maybe. You can't think like that. I laugh. It sounds hollow. How should I think? She doesn't answer. We sit in silence. Then she asks, what does this mean for us? I look at her. What if you have to go back to the States for treatment? What happens to me? To my family? I can't believe what I'm hearing. I just found out I have cancer and you're worried about money? I'm not worried about money. I'm worried about us. It sounds like you're worried about money. Her jaw tightens. You don't understand what it's like to have nothing, to depend on someone. If you leave, everything stops. I stand up. My legs are shaky. I just told you I might die. I know that. Do you? Because it doesn't sound like it. She stands too. I'm scared, okay? I'm terrified. But I also have to be realistic. You say you'll take care of me, but what if you can't? What if you're gone and I'm left with nothing? Then maybe you should have thought about that before you married me. Her face crumples. That's not fair. Nothing about this is fair. I walk to the bedroom, close the door. I hear her crying on the other side, but I can't comfort her. I can't even comfort myself. I start treatment the following week. The oncologist's name is Dr. Lim. He's kind but detached, like he's seen this 1,000 times. The chemotherapy will be difficult, he says. You'll feel sick, tired, but it's necessary. Will it work? I don't know. Every case is different. Jenalyn comes with me to the first session. I sit in a chair while poison drips into my veins. She scrolls through her phone, doesn't talk much. When we leave, she asks if I'm hungry. I'm not. The next few weeks are hell. I can't keep food down. I'm nauseous all the time. My hair starts falling out. I look in the mirror and don't recognize myself. Jenalyn tries to help. She makes me soup, ginger tea, but she's different now. Impatient. When I can't finish a meal, she snaps. You have to eat something. I can't. You're not even trying. I'm trying. I just can't. She walks away. I hear her on the phone in the other room. Her voice is low, frustrated. One night, I wake up and she's not in bed. I find her on the balcony, smoking. I didn't know she smoked. Since when do you smoke? I ask. She jumps, drops the cigarette. Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you. You didn't answer my question. Since now, I'm stressed. About what? She laughs. But there's no humor in it. About everything. About you. About this. About me. Yes. About you. You're sick. You're dying. And I don't know what to do. I'm not dying. Aren't you? I don't have an answer. She picks up the cigarette. Lights it again. I can't do this anymore, she says. Do what? This? Play nurse? Pretend everything's going to be okay. I never asked you to pretend. You didn't have to. That's what you wanted. She turns to me. Her eyes are hard. You wanted me to smile and say everything's fine. But it's not fine. You're sick, and I'm stuck here watching you fall apart. The words cut deep. If you want to leave, leave. Where would I go? I don't know. Back to your mother's. Back to whoever you were texting all those times. She stares at me. What are you talking about? You know what I'm talking about. She drops the cigarette, steps on it. I'm not leaving. I made a commitment. How noble of you. She walks past me. Back inside, I stand on the balcony alone. The city lights blur together. I don't know if it's the tears or the exhaustion. I just know I'm losing everything. I'm in bed most days now. The chemo wrecked me. I can't walk without help. Can't eat. Can't sleep. Jenalyn takes over everything. My phone, my passwords, my accounts. She says it's to make things easier, to let me rest. I'm too weak to argue. One afternoon, I ask for my phone. Why? She asks. I want to check my email. I'll check it for you. I can do it myself. She hesitates, then hands it to me. I scroll through. Bills, spam, messages from my daughter in Texas. I haven't answered her in weeks. I open my banking app. My hands are shaking. The balance is lower than I remember. A lot lower. I click on the transaction history. Transfers. Dozens of them. $500 here. 1,000 there. All to accounts I don't recognize. Jenalyn. She looks up from her laptop. What? What are these transfers? She walks over, looks at the screen. What are you talking about? I show her. These. Where's this money going? Her face doesn't change. Bills. Expenses. Things we need. What things? Groceries. Medicine. Rent for my mother's place. That's not groceries. That's $10,000. She takes the phone from my hand. You're confused. The medication is messing with your head. I'm not confused. You are. Trust me. She puts the phone on the dresser. Out of reach. Rest. You need to rest. I try to sit up. The room spins. Jenalyn. Terrence, please, just rest. She leaves the room. I lie back. My chest is tight. I want to scream, but I can't even breathe. A few days later, I wake up in the middle of the night. Jenalyn is on the phone in the living room. I can hear her through the wall. He's not going to last much longer. Her voice is calm. Matter of fact, just a few more months. Maybe less. I feel my blood go cold. Yes, I know, but I've already transferred most of it. The rest is in the joint account. My hands clench the sheets. Don't worry. He's too weak to check. And even if he does, what's he going to do? She laughs. Actually laughs. I close my eyes. Pretend to be asleep when she comes back to bed, but I don't sleep. The next morning, I wait until she leaves for the market. Then I grab my tablet from the nightstand. It takes me 20 minutes just to sit up. I log into my bank account. The balance is worse than I thought. $70,000. Gone. I had over $200,000 when I moved here. I scroll through the history, transfer after transfer, all to accounts in her name. Her mother's name. Names I don't recognize. She's been bleeding me dry for months. I want to throw the tablet across the room, but I'm too weak. I just sit there, staring at the numbers. When she comes back, she finds me in bed, crying. What's wrong? She asks. You know what's wrong. She sets down the groceries. Terrence, you're not well. You need to rest. Stop telling me to rest. You're going to hurt yourself. You already did that. She freezes. What are you talking about? The money. All of it. You took everything. She doesn't deny it. She just stands there. I needed it, she says finally. For what? To survive. To take care of my family. To make sure I'm okay when you're gone. I'm not dead yet. You might as well be. The words hang in the air. She realizes what she said. Tries to backtrack. I didn't mean that. Yes, you did. Terrence, get out. This is my home too. Get out. She grabs her purse. Walks to the door. Stops. You're going to die alone, she says. And it's your own fault. Then she's gone. I sit there in the empty condo. I can hear the traffic outside, the city moving on without me. I want to call someone. My daughter, Bill, anyone. But I'm too ashamed. I let this happen. I saw the signs. I ignored them. Now I'm paying the price. Jenalyn comes back that night. She acts like nothing happened, makes me dinner, brings me my pills, tucks me into bed. I'm sorry, she says, for what I said. I don't answer. I love you. You know that, right? I close my eyes. She kisses my forehead, turns off the light, and I lie there in the dark, wondering how I got here, wondering if I'll ever get out. Dr. Lim stops pretending 3 weeks later. I'm back in his office. Jenalyn isn't with me. Bill drove me. The doctor looks at me with tired eyes. The treatment isn't working, he says. What does that mean? It means the cancer is spreading, faster than we expected. I nod. I already knew. I can feel it. How long? He hesitates. Months, maybe weeks. I laugh. It sounds insane. That's it? I'm sorry. Bill drives me home in silence. When we pull up to the condo, he turns to me. You want me to come up? No. I'm okay. You're not okay. I know. He puts his hand on my shoulder. You need to get your affairs in order, brother. Make sure that girl doesn't take everything. She already did. He shakes his head. Then take it back. How? Change your will. Call your lawyer. Do something. I look at him. Will you help me? Of course. That night, Bill comes back with a laptop. We sit at the kitchen table. He pulls up my will. The one I made when I first moved here. Everything goes to Jenalyn. We need to change this, Bill says. To what? Your daughter, your real family. I nod. We spend 2 hours rewriting it. Every asset, every account. It all goes to my daughter, Sarah. Jenalyn gets nothing. When we're done, Bill prints it out, hands me a pen. Sign it. My hand is shaking. But I sign. Bill witnesses. I'll file this tomorrow, he says. Thank you. Don't thank me. Just promise me you'll hold on long enough to see this through. I'll try. After he leaves, I sit on the couch. The condo is quiet. Jenalyn still isn't home. I don't know where she is. I don't care. I pull out my phone. Call Sarah. She answers on the second ring. Dad? Her voice cracks. Hi, sweetheart. Oh my God. Dad, I've been trying to reach you for weeks. I know. I'm sorry. What's going on? Are you okay? I want to lie. To tell her everything's fine. But I can't. No, I'm not okay. What's wrong? I'm sick, Sarah. Cancer. Stage 3. She gasps. What? When did this happen? A few months ago. Why didn't you tell me? I didn't want you to worry. Dad. She's crying now. I'm coming. I'm getting on a plane tomorrow. You don't have to do that. Yes, I do. You're my father. I close my eyes. Okay. I love you. I love you too. When Jenalyn comes home that night, she finds me in bed. She's drunk. I can smell it on her. Where were you? I ask. Out. Doing what? None of your business. She kicks off her shoes, crawls into bed. Bill was here earlier, I say. She tenses. Why? We had things to discuss. What things? My will. She sits up. What about it? I changed it. Her face goes pale. What do you mean you changed it? I mean, you're not in it anymore. She stares at me. You can't do that. I already did. She gets out of bed. You bastard. Good night, Jenalyn. She stands there, shaking. Then she grabs her phone, storms out of the room. I hear her yelling in the living room. Something in Cebuano, angry, fast. I close my eyes. For the first time in months, I sleep. I don't remember the last thing I said to her. Maybe it was something about dinner, or the pills I needed. I don't know. It didn't matter anyway. I died 3 weeks later, in a hospital bed. Bill was there, holding my hand. Jenalyn wasn't. She came to the funeral. I know because Bill told me later, or maybe I just know. Maybe death doesn't work the way I thought. Maybe some part of me is still here, watching. She wore black, a dress I'd never seen before. Probably bought it with my money. She cried. Big dramatic sobs. The kind that make people turn and look. My daughter flew in from Texas. Sarah. She's 34 now. Looks just like her mother. Like Karen. She tried to talk to Jenalyn at the service. Jenalyn wouldn't even make eye contact. Just turned away. Pretended she didn't exist. The lawyer read my will 2 days later. Jenalyn showed up with her own lawyer. Some guy in a cheap suit. When he read that everything goes to Sarah, Jenalyn screamed, "That's not legal." We were married. The lawyer didn't blink. The will was updated and properly witnessed. It supersedes any prior arrangements. He was sick. He didn't know what he was doing. He was of sound mind when he signed. We have documentation, her lawyer tried to argue. Talked about marital rights, Philippine law. The lawyer shut him down with facts, precedents. Jenalyn stood up, pointed at Sarah. You did this. You poisoned him against me. Sarah just looked at her, calm. I didn't have to. You did that yourself. I loved him. No, you didn't. Jenalyn lunged. Bill stepped between them. Enough, he said. Jenalyn turned to him. You helped him. Damn right I did. I'll sue. I'll take everything. Good luck with that. She left. Slamming the door behind her, Sarah turned to Bill. Thank you. Don't thank me. Thank your father. He knew what he was doing. They stood there in the lawyer's office. The sun coming through the window, and I watched. Or maybe I didn't. Maybe this is just the story I'm telling myself, the one that makes sense of it all. Bill helped Sarah pack up my condo. They found things I'd hidden. Letters I'd written but never sent. Photos of Karen. My wedding ring from my first marriage. Tucked in a drawer. Sarah cried when she found it. He never stopped loving her, she said. No. Bill agreed. He didn't. They found Jenalyn's things too. Clothes, makeup, a jewelry box full of pieces I'd bought her. Sarah wanted to throw it all away. Bill stopped her. Donate it. Don't give her the satisfaction of knowing you were angry. Sarah nodded. They packed everything into boxes, shipped it back to Texas. The condo sold a month later. Sarah used the money to pay off her student loans, start a college fund for her kids, my grandkids. I never met them. That hurt more than the cancer, more than Jenalyn. The fact that I spent my last years chasing something that was never real, instead of being with the people who actually loved me. Jenalyn tried to reach out to Sarah once. Sent her a message on Facebook, said she deserved something, that Sarah was selfish, that I would have wanted Jenalyn to be taken care of. Sarah blocked her. Last Bill heard, Jenalyn moved to Manila, found another foreigner, older than me, richer. I wonder if she thinks about me, if she feels anything when she remembers my face. Probably not. I was just a step, a transaction, a means to an end. I thought she was patient because she loved me. But patience isn't love when you're just waiting for someone to die. She played the long game, stayed for 3 years, smiled when I needed her to smile, cried when it served her, took piece after piece until there was nothing left. She won, in a way. She got the money, at least for a while, got the stability, the security. But she didn't get what she wanted most. She didn't get to erase me, because Sarah knows the truth. Bill knows the truth, and maybe that's enough. I wanted to believe I could start over, that I could find love again, that loneliness didn't have to be my ending. But I was wrong. Not about love, about who I gave it to. I loved Karen, really loved her, and when she died, part of me died too. I should have honored that, should have let myself grieve instead of running halfway around the world to escape it. Jenalyn didn't take my heart. I gave it to her, handed it over because I was desperate, because I was scared of being alone. And she saw that, used it, bled me dry. I don't blame her, not really. She did what she had to do to survive. That's what she told herself anyway. But survival isn't the same as living, and love isn't the same as patience. If I could go back, I'd tell myself to wait, to heal, to find peace in my own company before looking for it in someone else's. But I can't go back. No one can. All I can do is hope that someone hears this story, someone who's lonely, someone who's thinking about taking that leap, and maybe they'll remember. Patience isn't love when someone's just waiting for you to die. Love doesn't take, it gives. Love doesn't wait for you to weaken, it makes you stronger. I wish I'd known the difference, but I learned it too late, and now I'm gone. Just a story, a warning, a name on a headstone in a country that was never really mine. She played the long game, and she won. But I wonder sometimes, in whatever comes after this, if winning was worth it, if she sleeps well at night, if she ever thinks about the man who loved her, who trusted her, who died believing she cared. I hope she does. I hope it haunts her, not out of revenge, but because maybe, just maybe, it'll stop her from doing it to someone else. That's all I have left, hope. And this story, the one Bill made sure got told, the one Sarah will pass down, so no one forgets, so no one makes the same mistake. I loved the wrong person, but at least I loved. That's more than Jenalyn can say, and maybe that's the only win that matters.